of Theories and Thoughts with your host, Anya and
Fancy.
you forgot your name?
No, I am trying to find the live to share to start my watch party, ma'am. I don't know why I thought your intro was going to be longer, so I don't know.
Oh, okay. Just when I just shared it. I know we gotta do better with that. We need an assistant sitting here to share the shit from our page. Anywho, hey Vince girl.
Wow. Hey y'all. Hey, look, so let me go ahead and do my little disclaimer because I moved into my new place and
Yay.
so my background looks different. I actually have enough space to have my own little whole room office, but I have to get it together. So y'all know, like I just moved with the Monday before last. So
That's why we weren't on last week because we wanted to give Fancy a chance to get in her new spot and get comfortable and get her mind together. Because y'all know how moving is, and then she got kids, and everybody got something going on. Right?
Right. And also, look, just because I did tell y'all some of my testimony like before, I'm just like this move, Sunday morning I did my own little like gospel praise yoga, something, just my own little worship with God because like this was so long overdue, but I feel like he really made me wait, and at the same time I knew even while going through, I knew that there was a purpose to my waiting, but it still just seemed like, when you're going through the situation, you don't want to just wait it out. You're ready. And I was so ready. It was like I was at the end of my hope, and just for the way he came through, God, God just really came through and showed out. And I'm so thankful, and yeah, I just wanted to just share that for somebody else who might be going through something because I often say I don't need like drama from other people. I have enough going on in my own life, but I don't always just like talk about it. But it be a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. So just him holding it down and making certain me and my kids are comfortable throughout this transition has really been like such a blessing. And it's just like we've just steadily been receiving blessings, especially with all the stuff that's going on in the world. Like that means even more to me. So yeah.
It kind of reminds me of the sermon I listened to today by Stephen Frank. Get ready.
Make room for the new.
Make room for the new. Sorry.
No, because even when you sent that to me, that was one of my hashtags, making room to grow. So it's just, it's still all kind of ties together to me.
Right. And in that, he said that we don't like movies that everything is just so happy. There's no drama. He said, but as soon as drama happened in our lives, we're like, God, move it. Hurry up and move it. But the tension builds our character. It grows us. So that's important for us to remember and to just hold on to him. Hold on to him. So it's a blessing watch you go through and see you be resilient even in the midst of, you have your times that you may not feel so, big and you're going through, but I've watched you and I've watched you grow through it. So being your partner in crime, kind of, I'm just thankful to God too, because that's been many prayers.
I appreciate you all, and you in particular, because you was one of the ones I was always texting. So I appreciate y'all support, throughout that time as well, and even just with the transitioning and everything. I appreciate all of it. So
that's what's been going on, y'all. So that's why we wasn't on last week. We, again, y'all know how moving can be. So moving on to the news. Congratulations, y'all. Judge Faith is having an amazing year thus far. She has been named the new host of new judge on divorce court, and she married Kenny Lattimore this weekend. So congratulations to Judge Faith and Kenny Lattimore, and congratulations again, Judge Faith, on that come up on that new job, girl.
Yeah. She is really like in a good season of her life. And I did kind of see even before, I think I already knew that they were getting married because I had kind of been seeing some posts before, but then like, I didn't know when the wedding was taking place, so to see that right in behind seeing her, being announced as the new judge to take over the show, I thought that was like, I thought that same thing, like, okay, she's in a good season. And so congrats to them.
So I'm always, and I love weddings. I love marriage. I think that that's so key. I have a hashtag. I will wait for you. So, dear Bay, I will wait for you whenever you come. Okay.
I don't know. I like weddings, but I haven't been to too many, so I
Girl.
just kind of like look at the stuff, and then I'm like, okay.
One of my girlfriends had a real intimate wedding. She did it how she wanted to do it. Everything was strategic. And actually, this week she sent me. She sent out the meaning of everything that was going on in the wedding, like down to the colors with the colors, man. And I'm a symbolization person, so it was just so wonderful. She had Stevie Wonder say, "Oh my gosh, that's amazing! That's
No.
when you got some money."
Yeah, that was my first. That was my thought too. And I remember, I remember your friend's wedding that you're talking about. And
Yeah.
I think it's funny though, because I actually was going to school like to get my certificate in wedding and event planning. I got all the way up to like the last book, but I think it was the wedding part that actually just kind of made me be like, you know what, like, I don't know. So
I want to do event planning. I wouldn't mind doing weddings, but it is stressful, honey. So moving on. 38. We have new waterproof headscarf created to encourage Black women to swim more. So 38-year-old Danielle Obi from London has created a scarf, ladies, to get you in the water to encourage you. The U.S. Swimming Foundation says roughly 64% of Black children have little to no swimming ability. And y'all know they say Black women don't get in the pool. I myself, I love swimming. I learned how to swim in the project pool. In case you ain't know, I am a project girl. I come from the project, Fisher housing. What's up? In New Orleans. And I learned how to swim there in the project pool. They gave us swimming lessons to my understanding. And I just always like the water. I am a water person. And like I could be in the tub and run the hot water. And then if it get cold, take out the cold water, put back hot water. I mean, that's just something as simple as a bath, but I love just being like by a pool. I could go and swim in the morning by myself and just be there and just float and just be at peace. Like that's my aura, that's my thing. So I love it. And I ain't need no swimming cap. Even when I had relaxed there, I ain't care.
I love the idea, and I think I still want a swimming cap, but I'm not really a pool person. Like I like to sit by it. I don't know how to swim. I would like to know how to swim because I have kids, and even though they're about to be grown, I just still, would like to know that hey, if push comes to shove, I might help out. But yeah, but I do think I like the fact of how they are implementing the youth into it, and just also the statistics, because I do believe there are a lot of people that won't get in the pool because of their hair.
I mean, they say Black pool parties, nobody get in the pool. I go in the pool. I have natural hair. I don't care. I don't wear a lot of weaves either, so it don't matter. So y'all getting in the pool?
Look, I got my own question for everybody tonight.
You want to do the last news topic, or you want to go ahead and ask your question?
No, I was about to ask if you were if you had another news topic. I apologize. I did forget about the third one. So feel free. Go ahead.
So we didn't want to not bring up the coronavirus. I know it's like beating us upside the head. I, for one, Fancy and Allison text and talk about, oh, they're scared and all this stuff. Yeah, I'm not scared. I don't know. Maybe because I'm looking at it and they're like, you might get sick. It's just like the flu. And I'm just like, okay. People die from the flu all the time. People die from AIDS, and y'all still have unprotected sex. People people die from heart attacks all the time. Y'all still eat fried foods. What's the difference? I mean, I get it. I totally get it, and I don't want to seem so like whatever. But why y'all taking up all the toilet tissue? Good thing I'm one that buy a big bulk of toilet paper. Like I buy a big old thing. 30 rolls for $9.99 from Kroger's. So I have plenty of toilet paper. Glad that I keep a big thing of hand sanitizer at my house. I keep one in my purse. I keep it at my desk. This is stuff that I always do. Even at Home Depot, I have some underneath. I made sure we had some. I wipe down stuff. I wipe down my desk all the time. Who are these people who feel the need to have all this? I have Lysol already in my cabinets. I have the wipes. I have all these different things. Who are you people that's not washing your hands?
I think it's a lot of people. I mean, obviously it's a lot of people, but me, I'm just saying this because, for one reason why I don't too much be interested in going by other people's house is because you start to realize that people appear one way online. Then when you're really getting a good look at, like, I can't deal with like dirtiness, basically. So, and like a lot of people are unclean, just being honest. And then also think about all the times you go to a public restroom and you hear that person walk out that didn't wash their hands. So those are the people. That stuff that they're buying is probably it's probably gonna still be just like sitting right there. I don't think that they're gonna just be like, they're buying it, but that doesn't mean that they're actually gonna be using it. But yeah, I am one of those people though that is kind of worried about the coronavirus. And it's funny because this was actually what my question was going to be about, because I'm just wondering if anybody else like is concerned about how it might impact them, not just even personally, but like everybody's talking about the stock market. We're talking about Russia and the gas prices and all of this and the oil. But what about like the small business owner? That's kind of like my thing, because even when I was talking to Jarmel about it yesterday, he was like, that don't affect us, and I'm like, well, if you think about it, we deal in advertisement. If people aren't going places, then they're not necessarily shopping. So a lot of our advertisers may not still want to advertise, because they're feeling like, hey, let me just hold back for a minute. So I think that it is something that we need to be more mindful of, but I don't really know how to be mindful. I guess, that's one way. Like we're hearing solutions or tips and advice for everything else, but what about the small business owner there? I hadn't saw anything about that. So that was my question, and just to see if you all have been finding some type of ways, like it's like to proof your business, or if you were taking any additional measures or something. And just also still coming back to the question again, but just also from a personal perspective, like, are you the person that is buying up the tissue paper, or, just what are y'all doing? What are your thoughts? Are you concerned?
My hair is doing something crazy. I'm sorry. That's why I'm messing with it. I never thought about the small business owner, but people might want to start shopping online. I don't know. I feel like they shouldn't cancel the large events that they're canceling. I feel like if people want to go, let them go. If they don't want to go, let them not go. Like Coachella has been postponed. South by Southwest has been canceled. You have Super Sunday in New Orleans. That's canceled. You have St. Patrick's Day parades in New Orleans and stuff has been canceled. If they canceled it here, it's gonna be a riot. I'm just telling you. I just feel like let's just stay clean. Don't touch people if that's what the case is. But we cannot live scared. And I'm not planning on living scared. So I'm going to continue living my life and doing the things that I'm doing. At the bank, they did ask everybody to make sure that they can get online at home. Well, I periodically work at home anyway, so I know my stuff work at home. I'm not going to tell them not to let me work from home if they say so, but I just feel like I post something today. Every election year, every so many years, there's always something. It's always something. And I was watching a health lady on Wendy Williams today. So I guess it was yesterday or maybe a previous episode. And she said that this may be a communal virus that comes around every year, like the flu. And I mean, the flu kill people all the time. The flu, again, AIDS kill people and people still having unprotected sex. People still eating hamburgers every day, and they having heart disease and different things. Let's worry about a lot of stuff that's already here. Yes, the coronavirus is here. It's actually in Collin County. I live in Collin County in Texas, in the Dallas area. But I'm just not gonna live my life like that. I'm just not.
And I get that. I think I am one of those type of people that can kind of more so live in fear, because I mean, it's not something I want to do, but it is something I can find myself doing because I already kind of live just like I have my life set a certain way, so I don't really involve like a lot of outside stuff. So I don't know, but yeah. Did you have any other thoughts on that?
No, but it's time for the sponsor. Our sponsor tonight, huh?
No, you can go. I'm pulling them up.
Oh, our new sponsor tonight is T. Michelle Naturals. T. Michelle Naturals was inspired by the natural woman on the go with the need for a healthy hair with less hassle. All of our products are made with natural and organic ingredients. Our products do not contain parabens, sulfates, mineral oils, drying alcohols, or drying alcohols. So her website is www.tmoniquenaturals.com. You can follow her on social media at tmoniquenaturals. And there's another is it Divine by Purpose also hers? Or did I put that in the wrong spot?
No.
Okay. So that's T.
It may have ended up in a kind of way, but it is Monique Natural. So
All right. So that's T. Michelle Naturals, you guys. Hey, if you're gonna be at home, shop online, buy her products, plan your hair. When I used to work at home all the time, I used to do my makeup when somebody made me mad. I would take a break and literally go do my makeup, and that's how I started really doing my makeup a lot. Just something to do while you're in the house scared. Anywho, is our guest ready?
yes. Also, y'all, I just want to say, because I just going back to T-Monique Naturals, but as I'm bringing in Miss Glendora, Tiffany and T-Monique are one of our newest clients. So I just want to welcome this on board. So that's also why I wanted to make certain, that we had all her stuff correct. So you all do please check her out, and her website and Instagram both are listed below. Now, welcome, Glendora. Your camera seems a little fuzzy. Is it just me? Okay. Wait.
She looked like she went out.
She might be fixing it. In the meantime.
Dead.
Okay, she is.
Okay.
Hey.
Hey, okay, there we go.
Hey, Glendora, she was an hour early. She was like, wait, it's Central. She called. I got a Georgia call. I was like, well, who is this calling me from Georgia? Fancy, you have to move over a little bit.
I'm trying, ma'am. You don't see me steadily sliding here. I don't know what it is. I need to
slide
way.
Slide the way you was sliding last. Right. Thank you. Right there.
Okay, I'm not working at my desk. This is my printing table over here. Okay.
This is us all the time. Glendora, welcome to Theories and Thoughts podcast.
Hey, what up, what up, what up?
Tonight, you guys will be talking how to communicate effectively in relationships with Miss Glendora Dvine, LPC. So, Glendora, can you give us the bio about yourself? Let our audience know who you are.
Okay, I am. Okay, hey, I am Glendora Dvine. I'm a board certified licensed professional counselor. I am in Georgia, Henry County, and I have a mental health and behavioral health practice. And I have had to practice for over 10 years. I'm married, been married for this year will be 20 years, so 20 and 2020. And we have one child together. And what else I could tell you? I like to have fun. So what up, what up, what up, though? I'm from Detroit as well.
So as you guys see, she is certified to be able to talk on this subject, honey. 20 years in the game. Congratulations. So,
Thank
Fancy,
you.
you like about to say something?
Okay, look, is this like us just trying to get back in the routine? Because it's like, I don't know. But all right, so tonight, well, just kind of like a little intro. Glendora is in our upcoming issue. And so she and I also, like, as I was interviewing her, I noticed that communication kind of seemed to be like effectively communicating was a big part of I guess you say the solution that she provides to different situations and scenarios. It always kind of came back around to communicating effectively with each other. So with that being said, when she was kind of telling me just about like, as we were really talking about communication on a level of parenting, but then she began to tell me about some work that she was going to be doing, whereas she'd be working with couples. So I thought that it'd be a great idea to bring her on because I definitely know that, you know, men and women have different styles of communicating. And also communication seems to be like a big thing, a big reason why many relationships fail. So I guess we can start right there, you know, with just a little bit about how communication impacts relationships, Glendora.
Okay. Well, the relationships are communication, so that communicating and equals relationships. Because without it, it's not going to work. And think communicating about the verbal and the all
You're breaking
number your body language. That is also you communicate. And I also like people from
Glendora, you're breaking up like really, really bad.
am I? Because you were really okay. Is this better? Ooh.
Okay.
Try saying
Well, I'm
a
in
few
these
more
streets.
sentences. I was trying to put it
Okay.
in the chat. Sorry.
Okay. Because y'all are like echoing when you all come through. So I was wondering if this was working out.
I can hear
Yeah.
I am. This better?
Yeah.
you.
Okay. So I was saying that basically relationships equal communication because without the communication there is no relationship. And when we also talk about communication, we want to also focus in on the nonverbal as well as the verbal. So the nonverbal being your body language, because that will lead conversations going down the wrong lane just based on how your body language was presented to the other person. So that's what I was really trying to say.
Oh, okay.
I'm
All right.
worried about now if it's breaking up or are y'all able to
No,
hear
you
me?
good.
So we're here. Yeah, we
Okay,
can hear you.
okay. Yeah, so I was saying that back in my generation, I'm about to say back in the day, how old am I? But in my generation, what we were doing, we were really raised on aggressive communication. And what we have to focus on is how to actually use assertive communication because it's a skill. But the only one that, a lot of parents taught, 40 years ago was aggressive communication. That's how they talked to us. That's what their style was. And the assertive piece really wasn't there for a lot of people. And that's how they go into their relationships, is being aggressive as well, which really doesn't work.
Can you give us though like an example of aggressive versus assertive?
Sure. In a relationship, we're going to pick the relationship to be two adults, two couples. In there between 25 and I'll say 45. So, and we're going to say that they've been actually together for over a year, maybe over 2 years. And so the aggressive communication style would be basically not using manners. So instead of saying, could you please hand me that over there, is give me that. And so those types of, and then the other person just usually starts to comply with it instead of really asking the person to be proper about it or be less aggressive. But giving commands, being very direct can be very aggressive to certain people, opposed to asking someone how telling someone how you really feel about a situation and what you want them to do. So that's the big difference between this aggressive and assertive communication. When we start being assertive, we actually own every feeling that we have. And we will explain, instead of saying I was just angry, we'll say I was disappointed when that happened. And it won't even get to anger, because we're going to check it at the disappointment level. I think being able to communicate is really important when you need to tap into your feelings, so you can actually express yourself verbally or non-verbally the right way. Um, so being able to tell them that you do have what actually the feeling that you have. So I'm disappointed in what you said, and then you also want to follow that up with what you believe a solution could be for the disappointment that you feel, what they may be able to do in reason. And you just following up and you asking them that, and you're going to see if they could do that, if that's something that they can do, or if it's something that they cannot do, because this is where the conversation really starts to begin. But what we typically do is just become aggressive and be like, oh yeah, I'm mad, I don't believe you said that, how you gonna say that like that? Or we say something defensive aggressively back to them, then we take on their attitude, we take on their personality. So if they're already, we're being sarcastic, now here we go being petty and being sarcastic back, instead of actually owning that we can be more respectful to ourselves by addressing our feelings about whatever the situation really is.
Wow, that's a lot there.
That is a lot, because I agree. We tend to, because we feel like, is it that we think that people are mind readers and they should know better, and they should know not to talk to me like that in communication and relationships? Or is it that they just got comfortable and they just like, I don't feel like you, I feel like you've grown and I shouldn't have to explain to you that you shouldn't handle me in that way.
Honestly, Francesca, I feel like it's the reality that we don't know how to tell people how we truly feel. I feel like we become passive and we start just saying, okay, sure. And if we're not being passive and just going along with whatever they said and how they said it, then we're being defensive. So the reality to me is that we don't know how to set boundaries and tell people how to love us. We just go into the relationships trying to love them based on how we were loved, because that's what we know. But the reality is we have grown and now we're in this real relationship, and you can tell somebody how to love you instead of becoming mad because they're loving you the wrong way, or being passive and going along with whatever they said. You can just go ahead and let them know where you at in a situation. But again, it was going back to checking yourself and checking your feelings so you can communicate that.
Girl, you just hit a whole lot. What you about to say, Jackie? That
No,
was
I'm like, and look, I'm trying to listen and be attentive, and the whole time I have all this communication going on around me at the same time.
all
I do
right.
apologize, y'all. But oh wow. There, but okay, this my question was, even before you mentioned that about the boundaries. So is it best like to clearly state, like your boundaries early on in the relationship, and then kind of be able to see if that person's going to be open to it, and that kind of helps you all proceed or know whether or not to proceed, so that you don't run into this?
Okay, honestly, that is what you're supposed to do, because you need to understand who you are. And a lot of times what we do is we don't take the time to really identify what my boundaries really are based on what I don't been through, the relationships I don't had. And I'm not just talking about relationships where you are being sexual or being friendly, but I'm also talking about the relationships with your parents, the relationship with your friends, kids, all of that. You got to take all of that into consideration and then start to identify, this is really what I desire in a relationship. Because when you identify those boundaries, what happens is you don't just limit those to your mate. You put those boundaries on everybody, and you start getting everybody to respect you in this manner. And you just, and so we need to really identify what we do want in a relationship and what we don't want in a relationship. And then as we continue to maintain this relationship we're in, what you have to do is realize you're still growing. Okay, so you're still changing. So we ain't been in a relationship for 2 years. Guess what? Now it's going on 4 years. Guess what? Now it's going on 4.5 years. And what happened is I don't like doing the same thing I used to do. For one, my body is different, than it was from 4.5 years ago when we first met. So I don't like hearing the same things that I heard. Adults, we really focus on our waistline growing. But the reality is not just your waistline grew. Your mental ability grew, your spirit, your emotions, all of this other stuff is growing too. You have to be mindful of your mentality and your emotions and your spirituality and see if they are growing. What are you doing to make them grow? How have they changed? Because it might take you to tell your mate, I need you not to call me baby no more. I think I need you to call me my name, because baby just don't feel right no more because I do so much and I think I'm forgetting who I am. So I need you to call me my name, not baby, just to help me identify with who I am. Stop being so comfortable, mundane. I want to slow my roll and relook at who I am. Help me remind myself. Don't call me my baby, call me my name. It could be just as simple as that. But that's the reality that you have grown from one step to another. And if you think about it, parents, you hear them say all the time, or you hear the kids say as they became adults, they just tell the parents, you didn't used to do that with me. You weren't like that with me. Right. They have changed. And best believe you're going to change too in this relationship. You might have liked doggy style, but your knees don't work no more. Stuff changed.
Come on now. So how do you do that? Because we find so many times people are getting divorced because they're like, well, we outgrew each other.
Right.
And I'm like, but you can communicate your new needs to
Right.
someone. And how do you communicate that without them getting defensive on where you used to like it? Like you said, I don't want to be called baby no more. I want to be called my name, or I don't like that particular thing anymore. Sometimes I just want to chill at home. Maybe we don't have as much company as we
Right.
used to have. But then they're like, well, you're changing and you're doing this and you're doing that. So how do you do that in a relationship that is stable, that is a committed relationship? How do you grow with that person to be able to communicate better with them with your new boundaries?
Well, that's where you have those conversations and you actually say, "Hey, let's talk," or you make it where they understand we finna talk. A lot of times we have these conversations and passing by. Well, we on our way to bed, or the kid we in the midst of cooking and we having this conversation. It's not really where you and your mate is literally sitting down and actually having a real conversation about y'all life, y'all building. Are we building? What are we building? Where are we headed in the next 2 years? A lot of times I tell couples when they come in, I tell the man, I said, what I hear is she's angry or she's confused on where you're leading her. Remember, your job is to lead. If you don't never come back and say, this is where we're going to go in the next 2 years, or this is what we're going to go, or this is what we're going to accomplish in the next 6 months, what is her vision really going towards?
Oh,
So the thing about is like we got to come back and have and have real conversations, even if you have to say, hey, at 10 o'clock, could you meet me in the bedroom so we can talk, or meet me in the den because I want to have a conversation with you, or let's go out to dinner. And when you go out to dinner, you actually have your bullet points ready, so you're not talking about the kids, so you're not talking about what auntie on done, but you're talking about where y'all actually headed. I tell everybody that vision boards are life because they're living. They're showing you where you're headed. You can see it. So the thing about what millionaires and billionaires do, they write stuff down. That's a vision board. They say, I'm going to accomplish this, this, and this. And this is what happens because of the plan. I have a vision for it. And a lot of times we get into these relationships and then we just like, hey, well, we working, we paying the house, we doing the rent, we got the kids, but how are you, where are you doing, what's the point? What is the point? What's gonna happen once the kid's gone? So, and I get a lot of parents that come into my office that the kids are aging out. They are graduating from high school. They are going to college. So what happens to the couple? What do we do? What happens next? We wasn't planning for that. We wasn't building for that. We were just living. No, you wasn't even living. You were just existing. Because when you are living, you doing this on purpose. So it's going back to that conversation, and it should not be, and that's the whole point of the conversation too, Fancy, is to get with the person and see when I tell you, I don't want to be called baby no more. I need for them to evaluate if that's capable for you. Because if that's an expectation that you can't handle, then at that moment, it's time for us to compromise or negotiate.
Right.
Right?
Right.
All right.
I've been dating this guy for a month now, and I was telling one of my friends, I was talking just in a casual conversation, and I said, I asked him, where do I fit in his life? Because he has this and his kids and her. And she said, you're thinking about that already? I said, I have to think about everything because I have to look, especially if I'm 38. I'm looking long term, and in long term, I have to think of how is this going to look in a couple of years? Am I going to be okay with this? How do I fit in somebody's world if we're talking about, I'm not just dating for sport. I'm dating because I would like that long term relationship. And she literally was like, you don't think that is too early for that? I was like, no, I'm thinking about the whole thing. The whole thing. So is it that people are just nervous? They're afraid that the other person's gonna get upset, especially in the beginning, that somebody's gonna be upset, and that's why they don't bring it up. They don't bring up their concerns and knowing who they are. Because I've had a guy tell me, you always got an issue. And I said, it's not that I have an issue. I'm just telling you what I like so you can know. And if you can't do these things, I'm okay with that. And I'm quick to tell somebody, if who I am is too much, I'm okay with that. But is it that people are afraid of being by themselves, that they're like, well, I don't want to mess up what I have going on. That's why I'm not going to bring up these things, these boundaries that I have, or these things that I like and don't like.
Well, you know what, Ashley, I think it is. I think that is they really already know what they really is bringing to the table themselves. And it might not be enough, and they know that. So a lot of times when we are out here dating, we are out here with not with trying to still get ourselves together. But we meet people that may be more elevated than us mentally, sexually, financially, in certain type of ways, spiritually, and it's kind of like, okay, well, is this what I'm really trying to do or not? And a lot of times too, Fancy, people don't really think about their life in the next 5 years. They are just here moving, running, being busy. You see, and what you're doing is not trying to be busy. You're trying to be purposeful. And that's exactly what you have to do in order to survive. And let me tell you, if you can't, like I said, you said 38, that body is finna change. So I know you're not messing around with no 21-year-old. So while he got so much stuff on his plate, he's not preparing for the unseen. I don't care. It ain't what you're saying. I know he ain't in the gym 24/7 eating pure healthy food all the time. It's not happening. You see, so with all that being said, you're not trying to get caught up with somebody who's not trying to take care of themselves in the first place, because that's just going to be more work on you in 10 years.
Mm-hmm. Right. So, well, my question also, Glendora, I'm just out of curiosity, can you see the three? Can you see all of us across the thing? Across the space?
Can I see you guys?
Uh-huh.
No. I'm just looking at myself the whole time.
No, you
I
you
don't know why.
because it was
I don't know how this works, so I'm
asking.
just like, I'm here.
No, because I was
Can y'all see me?
laughing when you kept saying fancy, and I'll just laugh.
Oh, because can you see me?
Yeah,
Yes.
we can see you. Hey, so that's why we were just wondering when I thought to ask. I was like, okay, but no,
I was trying to catch the name. I was trying to catch the voice. I was like, I wonder, but let me see. I think it's fancy. Stick with what I know.
It's okay. It's okay. It was funny though, because I was like, that was me.
I just wanted to clear it up, But my question is this though, like how oftentimes, just as we're talking about communication, but a lot of what we've been discussing has more so been like once the relationship is already established, or I guess like early on dating, or already dating. But what about like with early on dating? And you know how people are like, on one hand, you have people that's like, be open and honest, go ahead on and get it all out the way. Then on the other hand, you have the people that's like, no, you ain't supposed to be telling nobody all that. No way that early. I don't know. Like that is so confusing to me. I always see, and I know that's kind of like going into the life.
You know what? Let me tell you. Let me honestly be honest. Be transparent.
That's me.
Just be honest and be transparent, because if they can't handle you from who you are right now, ain't no need of even dealing with them, because they're really just distracting you from who is really coming for you, who can handle you. You ain't nobody too much for nobody. It's just that we have to get the right people around us, and we do a lot of distracting ourselves, just taking anybody that came along. And when we already knew we had a red flag over here, he got a red flag over here. I need you to honor those. I need you to honor your intuition. When I first met my husband, we went on we went on our first date. We went on our first date, and when we got there, we went to a bar. It was like a thing where you can like play putt, drive, go-karts. It was a bar, arcade, all that stuff, right? And so we there, and so I was like, well, let's just sit at the bar. And we both got a beer, and I went on with all these questions. And, and he was answering the questions, and he was like, that's a lot of questions. I was like, it's all right. Let's keep rolling. Let's do this. And the questions was like, did you go to college, or did you do the military or anything like that? And he was like, oh, I'm a Marine. I was like, oh, really? I said, are you still in? He's like, no, I'm not in. I said, oh. I said, would you have problems showing me your DD-214? He was like, what? I said, would you have a problem showing me your DD-214? He was like, no. And ain't nobody never asked me about that before. I was like, well, this is the interviewing process. This is just how I roll. And then at the end, when we got back to my car, I was like, you know what? This was fun. Would you want to do it again? And you know what? Let's go on a real date. I'll pay for it. We pick a restaurant. I don't care. And he was like, what? Really? I was like, yeah, I don't care. Pick a restaurant and let's go on another. We can go tomorrow. And he was like, okay, well, let's just go to Olive Garden. I was like, all right. So we got to Olive Garden, and, he said, let me tell you something. I wasn't going to ask you out no more. I was like, really? He was like, yeah, you talk too much. He was like, but ain't nobody ever offered to take me out to eat before, not to no real restaurant. And I was like, is she serious? I was like, I don't need nothing. I choose to be with you based on how you answer those questions. I don't need nothing. I just want to have a good time, and that's it. And I was on that whole thing. I'll never get married.
20 years
And here you are 20 years later. But again, I was straight up front. I had wrote that stuff out. I had wrote them questions out. And I was serious about, y'all think Chili ran around here and she had a list. I had a list. And I worked that list, and I didn't play with red flags on that list because I was tired already, and I'm not finna waste my life learning how to be with the wrong people. I wasn't raised where I experienced a lot of trauma. See, my dad do a lot of trauma to women. My father raised me. So once I had my one experience, that was enough. That reminded me, hell, I didn't live like this before you. Won't be doing this no more. Let me write this out. You will not call me out my name. You will never hit me. You will never spit in my face. Yeah, I had to write all that out. So now I'm asking a question. Well, have you ever spit in a woman's face before? He's like, what? Have you ever hit a woman? You pushed her? Have you ever pushed her? Can your mama vouch for you? Cousin, auntie, anybody? But I was serious because those are real questions, and that was a real mess I lived through. Wasn't doing it again, not on purpose, not because I didn't even ask you. You see? And honestly, how we did this 20 years, we've been transparent. We've been for real. So when it's hard and we're not understanding each other, we're not liking each other, it's an issue, we say what the issue is. It's so important to say what that real feeling is right there. Right there. Yeah, it's so important to say what that real feeling is right there so you can address that. It's more than being angry. It's disappointment, it's sad, it's exhausted, it's bored, it's surprised, it's shocked. Let's talk about why it shocked me before we talk about why I'm angry. Let's figure out, why am I shocked that you said that? Why I didn't know you had that in you to say. Right?
Right.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
It does.
And look,
Y'all
I'm
stop making me
curious.
feel like I'm talking to myself. I'm just staring at myself.
I want to know, what is the
DD4.
Yeah.
The what?
DD4.
Oh, the DD-214. That's what you get when you get out the military. That's the little slip that they give you that tell you all your little business, like if you was local, what you was, if why you got out, if you went to war, if you it tell you everything. It tell
Okay.
you like is you got basically what I wanted to really know. Was it an honorable discharge or dishonorable
That's
discharge?
what I
That
figured.
was why I asked him that question. Because if it was dishonorable, well, that was a no-no on my damn list. We ain't playing that. This is like you not gonna go to college and do nothing. We just not gonna do that. So my reason for asking him if he had a DD-214 is because my next question was it honorable or dishonorable? And he was blown back because he was like, ain't nobody never asked me that before. I said, well, my name is Glendora. I am somebody.
I love
So
it. I mean, I don't have questions, but I'm paying attention to stuff, and I'm mindful, and I look at the way that you handle things, and I watch the way people handle business. Not so much as what they say a lot of times, but how they interact and do different things that make me, okay, this is what's going on. That's what's going on. Okay, I see this. And then if I have a question, I'm going to ask that question. But I'm very transparent. And I'm glad you said that because I'm very transparent with my feelings. And sometimes I feel like it's too much because I'm like, let's get this crap out the way first. This is Anya, by the way.
thank you.
I'm like, let's get all this mess out the way. I'd rather have a hard time at first and then we live a little bit better understanding and knowing each other later on. But if we can get the kinks out in the beginning with that communicating and telling you how I feel and you telling me how you feel and not being afraid to express that.
Right. And then that's really it always is just, it keep going. You just keep being transparent like that. That's why I don't even get, how people don't have a cell phone and like yours mate don't even got the password, can't look in your phone. What you doing? How you living for real? It shouldn't even matter. It shouldn't care. So, I don't get it. But I really feel like it's a lot to do with people just not really honoring how they truly feel. And honestly, I feel like a lot of African Americans don't even know how to say disgusted, embarrassed, shocked, confused. I think we stuck on angry, frustrated, irritated, annoyed,
That's a
the
good point.
same. And I feel like that's really what the issue be. And then you like when we trying to be in a relationship and actually have I know what I tell people. I said when they come to my office, I was like, listen, no more high school talking. No more high school talking. This is how your ass talk when you was in high school. So moving forward, we're going to say complete sentences with subjects and predicates, and we're going to inject feeling words.
I'm just picturing
And
some guy being like, all right, man, because you know, guys love to be like, just
I'm
I don't
telling
know.
you, I've had it. They're like, I'm like, you always. I say you act like you get mad because I'm telling you how I feel, and I've had one be like, because you always have, or you always tell me how you feel. I'm like, yeah, I'm telling you how I feel, so you can fix this shit. Instead of me keep telling you the same thing over and over. Now, if I gotta keep telling you the same thing over and over, this ain't gonna work because I don't plan on being in a relationship with nobody. I gotta keep telling you how I feel and what I would like, because when you tell me how you feel and what you like, I'm listening and I'm changing that.
And see, at that point, you got to understand that's not even a conversation for you to be having, because at that point, they already saying it ain't in me. That's not in me.
That's why he
That's
gone,
too
girl.
much of me. Exactly. You see what I'm saying? Exactly. Because you don't need that frustration because he can do it for someone else. He just not your person.
Right.
You know? And so once you realize that, it's like, I can't even have that conversation with you because you're a distraction. You are distracting me from what I desire. And notice, I keep saying, ladies, desire. Okay, because I believe in a higher power. I call him God. I call him my Lord. And he said, what is the desires of your heart? Not what the hell you want.
Right.
Remember, understand that. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not do what? So be mindful. Be mindful because he said if you speak with your tongue the desires of your heart, they're going to be yours. So when you put this list together and you start writing out what you desire in a relationship based on what the hell you on been through that you know you do not like no more, then you're going to start speaking that out loud to everybody that you meet. And that is why that energy is going to come to you because you're calling it on purpose at that time. That makes sense.
It sure do.
You're
Baby, you said a lot tonight. I love one of the things I love about having this podcast is we can bring on people that help us with our own lives. So if nobody else get help, we get help. Or that confirmation that we're on the right track. Because people make you think that you're wrong for what you're saying.
Yeah, that's what they're supposed to do. They call the yayers and the naysayers. And the haters and the pickaboo bitches, as Lonnie B say.
Yes, I love Lottie B.
I know, right?
Well, anything closing that you would like to leave our audience with?
Yes, I'm thankful that you guys are here, that you came. I hope you guys could get something too. This is who I am, how I am. I love to have fun. And if you want to connect with me, just go ahead and reach out to me. My website is dsgeorgia.com. That's D and David, S and Sam, the word Georgia spelled out.com. Please click on that just in time page. That's where I put classes on there that you can get low, $37 1 hour, 10 ways to talk to your kid about sex, easy, open ways, and make it happen. The other one is help. I've been diagnosed, and I don't care what the hell you've been diagnosed with, but this is how you talk to your family and get them to support you as you go through this journey without you, going into depression or turning your kids into parents themselves or just withdrawing. Okay, so I'm here to help, baby. Thank you for calling and let me be in on here too. Thank you, ladies.
I have your information. I don't know if you can see it across the screen, but we did also list the website as well as your Instagram so that they can check you out, follow, and also check you out in the upcoming issues. So, and also Glendora's interview is up on Swagger.net as well. So y'all, and then she be in the story. So we're often sharing her stuff. So you all do please check her out and support. And she's doing a lot of amazing stuff. This is only like a part of like barely touching on what her work is really about.
We definitely gonna have to have her back on too. Definitely.
Come through.
Stuff, then
around.
I was saying we should do something like around like I don't know if there's like a family month or something, but I think or sex ed, something like that for teens.
I can find out
something along the lines of that.
I can find out. And Glendora, they don't have to be in Georgia, right, in order to get your services on how to talk to my family.
No, they can just go on my website, and that's why I post a lot of the stuff on there where they can just get it from there. And I'm I'm about to put up before the end of, March, I have 2 coming up about being a student and a parent. So that is going to be a workshop that they'll be able to download from there. And then I'm also doing one on self-care because, we don't do that and we have to. So been doing the self-care too. So they just go to the website and hit just in time and keep up with me. And if you have a kid and you want support and resources, then join my parenting group. It's called Glendora's Peaceful Parenting Strategies, and that's where I go in and just try and give you strategies on how to parent peacefully, start raising your blood pressure.
Ain't that the truth?
I love it. I'm over here while we still on the podcast. Like, have you ever hit a woman?
Because I want to know. Do you have anybody that can verify that information?
I love it, girl. I love
your mama, your cousin, your who?
Right. Well, we thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you so much. We'll have her stuff up on our page as usual. Well, underneath on our YouTube and everything. We do put everything in the comments and everything. So thank you and have a great evening. Her website again is www.dsgeorgia.com, and you can follow her on social media at GDVINE, and that is Miss Glendora Dvine. Glendora Dvine.
And it's actually my whole name on social media.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
that's how you look. I was like, look, what I did wrong. Okay, I'm going it right now. And almost there. It's your whole name, you said.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
okay.
Thank you.
We'll have you guys.
That was fun for me.
All right, thank you.
Bye.
All right.
I wanna make certain I have that on here. Here we go. Okay. It's corrected, y'all. So they can follow her on social media.
That was good. I enjoy our guests. I don't know if y'all enjoy our guests. Do you guys enjoy our guests? We have some incredible people coming through to talk about different things. Next week, I think is Nadia. I think I have to check, but look out for the flyer. This week was effective communication. If you did not catch the beginning of it, rewind, rewatch the video. This will be up on YouTube by Friday, and we will have it up on Spotify and all the rest of those places by Friday. Also, if you need to share it with your friends because you feel like your man needs to hear this, make sure you share that. Make sure y'all share, like, subscribe on our Spotify and on our YouTube and our Google Play. Let everybody know what we're doing every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time.
All right. And our event sponsor for the week is Seal the Deal Live. It's all about the business. Don't miss out on a room full of masterminds, experts, and CEOs as Asia Rivers and friends go in depth and behind the scenes. The topics include business and personal credit, business, legal, entrepreneur, burnout, funding sources, and much more. So this is a 2-day event. We have the event link up. I'm not about to try to read all of that, but you go to talkbizcredit.com and it's going to be there. But for those who can actually view it, then you can see the full link, as well as Asia's Instagram is biz credit bay. So that's biz credit credit bay BAE on Instagram, and she's been like sharing a lot of updates, keeping you all abreast as the event is going to be this weekend. So if you haven't gotten your tickets, then I think that she still has some general admission tickets. I'm not certain if they still have like the VIP tickets, but I do think this is definitely an event that you all may want to attend if you're in the Louisville, Kentucky area. So check that out.
All right. Remember, we have our Never Thirsty tumblers. Fancy was drinking out hers today. $35 on our website. Also, be looking out for more merch. This is our shirt actually. Our stories, our struggles, our success. That's what Swagger is about. Support, you guys. The more you support us, the more we can support you. Small businesses, get at us, advertise at swagher.net. We have something for you. If you are interested in being a guest, get at me, Arnya, ARNYA at swagher.net. If you're interested in sponsoring an episode, Arnya at swagher.net. Go ahead.
No, I feel bad because I didn't have the crawlers ready for that tonight. My apologies, but it is Arnya at swagger.net, and y'all, or y'all can inbox the page, or preferably the email is best. So
right, where wild women wander and CEO chatter. Discover your, which is what I say.
Just because those two different events. So the announcement is both the links are live for Where Wild Women Wander. These are both our Women's Empowerment Week events. So W4, as I kind of just call it to stop all W's, but that's live on Eventbrite. The tickets are up. We have one of our speakers, and I just have not announced it just yet. I just want to communicate something else with them, but hopefully I can be getting that announcement out tomorrow. And then the CEO Chatter event is actually a branding workshop. So I'm going to be teaching attendees on how to discover their brand archetype, basically like their brand characteristic. So we're going to be doing that. That's going to be in Lafayette on March the 21st. And then Where Wild Women Wander is going to be March 27th. Both of those events, like I said, are on Eventbrite, as well as the Facebook events are live as well. So please get your tickets. And the branding workshop is actually going to be free. So, and it's at the public library in Lafayette. So I'm hoping to, connect with more people within the Lafayette area. And I really think that this is a great opportunity for those of you. People always talk about branding and they start off with the logos or the website and, the colors and so on. But then you notice that you're missing something with your messaging possibly along the way. It's not consistent. People can't just immediately identify what your brand characteristic or your character type is. So that's the reason why I'm teaching this workshop, and I'm kind of excited about it. This is my first time teaching it, but I have really been studying it and just also implementing a lot of what I've learned into our own strategies at Swagger Magazine and with Theories and Thoughts. So yeah.
Where Wild Women Wander is about sexual trauma and sexual freedom. Wild women, a lot of times it's kind of taboo to talk about sexual experiences in public or even talk about our sexual traumas. So we're trying to get the taboo out that more women can discuss that and be able to be free from all of that. I personally, if you want to be sexy, I told Fancy, I'm wild, but I'm conservative. It's not necessary I have to tell you my business, but if I tell you something, I don't want you to be like, oh, wow, frowning at me because that's something that I enjoy, whatever. It's okay to wear sexy lingerie for yourself or for your man if that's what you feel like doing. If you want to have a boudoir or take, racy pictures or whatever, if that's what you want to do for yourself, you shouldn't have to feel like there's something wrong with that. So that's what Where Wild Women Wander is about. It is going to be so good. I'm going to miss it. But hopefully it'll become an annual event in the Baton Rouge area, and maybe we can bring it to different states. Maybe we can conduct a tour and just to have women with sexual freedom. It's not nothing to be like, oh, just real perversion. It's not about that. It's about just being free to be who you are sexually as you are with everything else. So,
right. And yeah, I agree with all of that. As well as I do see this event like being something more because it is going to be like a safe space, a non-judgmental zone. And I just want us to be, open and transparent, but also have some really cool, wild women, I guess you say, that's going to be coming out. And I think people are going to be really excited about them. As well as even if you are that timid person that's kind of like me, I guess you say, you're going to kind of want to come out of your shell. And again, like whereas Anya kind of more so spoke to the sexual freedom side of things, I also want women to, like, I'm not going to say there's a specific woman that this event is for, because you don't have to have, like we mentioned, the sexual trauma, but not everyone has endured or experienced the sexual trauma. But at the same time, not maybe every woman is so like, oh, I'm so ready to be sexually liberated, but you do still feel like there's some blockage there, which is why we're going to be bringing in a therapist as well. So I just, I like for us to try to do things that's not only empowering, but also fun that you all can enjoy. So it's going to be good. I think it's going to be really good. And I'm really looking forward to it. And again, like we have pre-sale tickets up. Those are all gone now. So if the tickets are regular price, and we are still accepting vendor and sponsorships. And I know that it's a little late, but I'm like, we're going to make this happen either way, because it's already like just the response that we've gotten thus far. I know that it's going to, be really good. So
and yeah. if you are a small business and can't afford the sponsorship packages, contact us. You can sponsor a ticket or what have you, and or something, just contact us. If you're interested, contact us. We work out different things all the time. So. All right, Fancy. Anything else?
No, I think that is everything. Y'all just visit the website, check out our Instagram stories. Also, I don't think people oftentimes know that we have a lot going on in the stories when they're going. So,
yeah. So, all right, guys, we will catch you next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Talk to y'all later.
Bye.